So now that we know the different parts of the guitar, I'd like to move on to the fretboard. Now, the fretboard has frets, and each one of these metal pieces is a fret. And you'll notice that on this guitar there are actually 22 frets. Some guitars have more, but a standard is 22. There are also these dots, and on this guitar they're pearl inlays. And the dots are an easy way for you to automatically know where you're at on the fretboard and what key, not really what key you're playing in, but it'll let you know that if you played the E string on the 3rd fret, you would know what note that is. And I'm not going to tell you what it is right now because we're going to get to that in a minute. But the reason there are dots is to give you a quick reference point of where you're at on the fretboard. Now, one thing I will mention while we're on it is that you'll notice that there are 2 dots here, and all the other ones just have 1. The reason is the 12th fret represents the octave. And what that means is, if I play an open string here, I can play it on the 12th fret and it's the same note, 1 octave higher. So if this is an E, if I play E on this string on the 12th fret, if I play on the 12th fret 6th string, I know that's also an E. So the 2 dots here represent everything from here forward is going to repeat those notes. If you don't understand exactly what that means, you will later. But the point is, right now, the dots give you a quick reference point. Now, there's a reason that the dots are on here, other than just to give you a reference point. They actually tell you which fret you're on. Now, it's important to notice that the 1st fret, or the 1st dot, is actually, you will be on the 3rd fret. And let me explain what that means. When you fret the strings, you're actually not placing your finger on top of the fret itself. You're placing your finger behind the fret. That way, what you're actually doing is you're shortening the string from this point on down. So if I play the open E string like this, okay, if I want to shorten that, and I'm going to play it on the 3rd fret, I place my finger just behind the fret, just behind the 3rd fret. So when you see tablature written, and if you don't know what tablature is, you will soon, but if you're already experienced with what tablature is, or tab is another short way of saying it, you'll see 3 written down, and what that means is your finger is going to go right behind the 3rd fret. Okay, so I count up 1, 2, 3, and here's my 3rd fret. If I count up 4, 5, here's my dot on the 5th, 6, 7, okay, the 3rd dot's a 7th. 4th dot is on the 9th fret, and then remember our 2 dots, that's the 12th fret. And then it starts to repeat itself. 3 plus 12 is 15, so this is the 15th fret. 5 plus 12 is 17, so here's the 17th fret. Then 19, okay, and go up 2 more, it's 21, and remember this guitar has 22 frets, and yours probably does too, whether it's acoustic or electric. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind is that when you fret the guitar, and let's say you wanted to fret the 6th string, which is this string, the 6th string on the 3rd fret, you actually are fretting it right between the 2nd and the 3rd fret. So and the reason is, you want it to be clean. If I fret it right on top of the 3rd fret, here's what it sounds like. But if I fret it just behind the 3rd fret, actually right in between, right in the middle of the 2nd and 3rd fret, I press it down. Hear the difference? If I fret it right on top of it, hear that? But if I go behind it, it's a nice clean sound. So just remember that if it says the 3rd fret, it's actually right behind that particular fret that's named, and then between the fret that's named and the one right behind it. Now I'd like to tell you that each of these strings has a unique name. So let's start with the biggest string, which is going to be your 6th string. Now the strings can be numbered, and they're generally numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the 6th string is always E. Okay? The 5th string is A. Your 4th string is D, as in dog. Your 3rd string is G. Your 2nd string is B. And then the top string is E again. So each one has a name, E, A, D, G, B, E. You don't need to memorize those.